Interview.
My name is Hiroshi Minagawa. I'm the director of the Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. And this game, I was working as a director, and Matsuno-san, Mr. Yasumi Matsuno, he is a game design, and we work as a remake version of the original Tactics Ogre game. Okay, so this version of Tactics Ogre, it's been quite a long time since the original version was released, about 15 years. So what we actually focus on creating this Tactics Ogre game was we listen to the original Tactics Ogre fans on the internet and everything, and what they talk about most was like if they made a mistake and then they had to go back to the start and then do all over again, so it's kind of waste of time. So in order to avoid that kind of like disappointment from the players, we kind of implemented a new system called chariot system and wall system, which you can go back to the point you made a mistake and then you can do it, you can start from then. So that is kind of like as a saving tool. So we've implemented a new feature. And also about the story, actually is very identical, pretty much identical to the original Tactics Ogre, and but actually there's a little bit details around it actually which never be told in the original story. So that is a new part of the game as well. Throughout the game, actually you have some sort of like important points. You have to make a big decision. When you chose one decision, and then you get like certain kind of like outcome result, but this system called Wheel of Fortune system, and if you chose the different decision back then, what's going to happen as an outcome, as a result? So all the people can actually experience all the different kind of outcomes if you chose a different option, different decision. So please try as much as possible using this Wheel of Fortune system as much as possible, and then get experience all the different like multi-story system. At the beginning of the game, at very beginning, you have a couple of like questions, tarot cards, and each tarot card's got like certain questions, and by kind of answering all the questions, you can get a certain kind of abilities or some like different like skills and stuff when you start the game. So it affects the character's creation. So sometimes like it depends on which tarot cards we choose. You get like more like good at magic, or maybe good at power, good at defense. That kind of like a difference there. And also you can have those tarot cards which you chose at the beginning, you can have them as an item. The music for this Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, obviously we changed a little bit from the original version, because of the original version for the SNES was each phrase was too short. So what we requested for this title was added some like second part of each track, so to make the longer version of the original kind of like original track. So Sakimoto and Iwata, they were the creator from the original version as well, and then they kind of like created the new kind of tracks for this version. And then about the orchestra, actually Sakimoto has a strong kind of like believing in a Sydney orchestra, and he really wanted a Sydney orchestra to play the theme track of this Tactics Ogre called Overture. So he kind of travelled to Sydney himself, and then met the Sydney Orchestra, and then kind of like asked them to play the theme for this game. What the most difficult thing was, obviously there were lots of like desire and dream, like what I want to do for this new version, and for example like 3D kind of visual, or some different characters, and like a lot of different features I wanted to create it for the new version. And then I had a lot of discussion with Matsuno, and also searched a lot about the users' feedback in the fan community on the internet, and then in the end, like we ended up thinking about we should think about like what we can do if we create Tactics Ogre now. In this modern world with the modern technology, and thinking about what we should change from original version or what we shouldn't change original version. So that was a kind of like a most difficult part. This time we decided to create the game on a PSP, purely because as myself as a gamer, we obviously 15 years ago when the original game was out, I was playing in front of TV for hours and hours, but obviously lifestyle changed since then, and a lot of people actually play more like in their room, and then on our spare time and play on handheld console more. So that's what we decided to do on a PSP this time. But I have myself an iPhone, and then it will be great, I think, but personally I think it's great if we can create some the Tactics Ogre game on iPhone at some point.